Hello friends, it's Kristie Marcotte. In today's video, I'll be using Love from Lizi's Vintage Escapes 8x8 paper collection. This is the same pattern paper that was included in her March 2024 card kit. In the kit, it was 6x6 size, and I have the 8x8 size. The March card kit has sold out, but the 8x8 paper collection is still available. And if you are interested, I do have a link in the description box below. This paper collection has a travel theme to it. I love the colors, lots of neutrals that would work perfectly for masculine cards. A couple of the papers have a linen texture finish. Several of them have a spot gloss finish on them. The set includes 16 8x8 papers. Half of them are double-sided. Even though this collection does have a travel theme, my plan is to make Father's Day cards. There are lots of designs that don't have that travel look to them, and I think they will be perfect for Father's Day cards that I'll give to the residents at a nearby retirement home. And with the larger 8x8 size, it'll be easy to make multiples of the same card. I'll also be using a variety of Love from Lizi's stitched die sets. She has a fun variety of different shapes, and I love how many dies are included on each set. For a sentiment, I decided to stick with a general hello. I'll add that on the outside of the card, then I can stamp Happy Father's Day, or if I decide to use the cards for another occasion, I can put that sentiment on the inside. And I'm using a couple of Love from Lizi stamp sets. So let's go ahead and get started with card design number 1. I will be using card sketches for inspiration. The first sketch is from Freshly Made Sketches. This is number 609. And if you are interested in any of the sketches I use in this video, I share all of that information on my coordinating blog post. That link is in the description box below, or you can simply head over to kristiemarcotte.com. For my first card, I selected 2 pattern papers. I have the yellow map paper for the background and a tone-on-tone blue pattern with lots of different ships. After adhering the blue panel down, I put a Love from Lizi peel off along the edge. I'm using the silver matte color in the pinstripe style. I wrap the ends around the back, put ATG tape on the back, and I'll layer this piece on some dark blue cardstock. My background piece is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, and the blue cardstock layer is an additional 1/8 of an inch. 4 1/8 of an inch by 5 3/8 of an inch. Then I'll add my card front onto a card base, leaving 1/8 of an inch of the white card base showing. Using some of the same dark blue cardstock and one of the rectangle postage edge dies, I cut out this piece. I love how it leaves that stitched edge right along the inside. Then I cut a slightly smaller rectangle piece using the postage pattern paper, and this paper has the fun linen texture on it. I'll put glue on the back and adhere that piece on the postage die cut piece. Now I'll pop up the postage die cut using some thin foam dimension. I'm using the black foam strips from Honeybee Stamps. On the card sketch, there are 2 banners on the left side. For the first banner, I use some of the teal pattern paper. Before adhering it down, I will put some foam dimension on the left side where it goes off of the postage die cut, and I'll also add a small piece of pattern paper on the left side, and that'll help it stay at the same level. I've already stamped out the sentiment hello on some white cardstock. I'll cut a fishtail on the right side. Before adhering it down, I'll put a tiny scrap piece of pattern paper on the top right side. Then I'll put glue on the back and adhere it above the teal banner. For embellishments, I'm using some of the mini circle peel-offs. This is the same silver matte color. I'll put 3 in the upper right-hand corner, 2 underneath the sentiment on the left side. And for a final finishing touch, I'm adding 3 more peel-off strips at the bottom of the card. This is the clear with silver overlay in the pinstripe style. On the card sketch, there are some small dotted lines at the bottom of the card. I'll be adding peel-offs instead. And I am cutting the peel-offs at different lengths, trying to follow the design of the card sketch. I'm adding all 3 peel-off widths on this card, and I'm using a craft knife to cut the right side of the peel-off. So there is my finished card, and I did make 2 using this design. Now moving on to card design number 2. The card sketch is from Cards TV. This is sketch number 53. I selected 2 pattern papers for the background. The reddish design has lots of compasses. The teal pattern has the Statue of Liberty, Eiffel Tower, and Big Ben Clock Tower. I'll adhere the compass panel on the left side. Then I'll add a Love from Lizi peel-off along the edge of the compass paper. I'm using the racing green mirror color in the pinstripe style, and I use the widest width. I'll layer this piece on some black cardstock, put ATG tape on the back, and add my card front onto a card base, leaving 1/8 of an inch of the white card base showing. Using Love from Lizi's stitch circle dies, I cut out 2 circles. One from black cardstock, and the other is pattern paper with a bunch of mail on it. I'll put glue on the back and adhere the 2 circles together. Then I'll add my circle on the left side of the card, following the design of the card sketch. I've already stamped out the sentiment hello. Use black ink on some craft cardstock. I'll layer that piece on black cardstock. Before adhering it to the card, I'll put some foam dimension on the very right side and a couple of cardstock pieces on the left side, trying to keep it at the same level. Then for a final finishing touch, I'll add more Love from Lizi peel-offs. This is the same racing green mirror color in the mini circle style. I'll add 3 following the design of the card sketch and add 2 more in the lower left-hand corner. So there is my finished card, and I did make 2 using this design. I love using 8x8 paper since I can get 2 backgrounds for my card that are 4 by 5¼ inches. Now moving on to card design number 3. The card sketch is from Freshly Made Sketches. This is number 368. For the background of my card, this is a very light gray with diagonal stripes. At the bottom of this panel, I'm adding some brown peel-offs with gold overlay. I used the widest and medium width. I'll wrap the ends around the back, layer this piece on some brown cardstock, put ATG tape on the back, and add my card front onto a card base, leaving 1/8 of an inch of the white card base showing. I've already stamped out the sentiment hello on a stitched oval die cut. I used some off-white cardstock. Then I cut the next size up oval from the same dark brown cardstock. I'll layer the 2 pieces together, set that aside for now. Using one of the postage rectangle dies, I cut out 2 pieces of pattern paper. Both of these papers have the spot gloss finish. It's hard to see on the video, but when the light hits it, you can see that lovely gloss finish. I did cut out a second postage rectangle piece and adhered it on the back just for some extra stability and a little bit of dimension. I'll put the teal pattern down first, the airplane pattern on the right side, and I did add some scrap cardstock pieces to keep it at the same level. I'll put glue on the back and adhere the airplane postage die cut on the right side of the card. Now I'll add the sentiment on the left side, first adding that scrap cardstock piece on the left side of the oval. Then I'll put glue on the back and adhere the sentiment on the left side of the card. For embellishments, I'm using the brown mini circle peel-offs. I'll put 3 in the upper right-hand corner and 2 underneath the sentiment on the left side. Love from Lizi's mini shape peel-offs are perfect to use as embellishments, especially if you don't want to add a lot of dimension to your cards. So there is my finished card, and I did make 2 using this design. For card design number 4, the card sketch is from Cards TV. This is sketch number 56. I selected 2 pattern papers. The background is a brown tone-on-tone and it has the word hello in several different languages. For the smaller rectangle, this is a light teal color with small triangles. I'll layer both of the pieces on some dark brown cardstock. Put ATG tape on the back and add my card front onto a card base, leaving 1/8 of an inch of the white card base showing. For the narrow strip at the bottom of the card, using more pattern paper, this is the light gray with diagonal stripes. I'll layer that piece on the same dark brown cardstock, put glue on the back and adhere it in the lower right-hand corner. I'll be stamping the sentiment on the gray diagonal stripe pattern paper, so I will be using my Mini Misty. Want to make sure to get a good solid impression. I'll select one of the hello sentiments. Make sure it's nice and straight. The ink color I'm using is Icing on the Cake by Catherine Pooler. And I will ink it up several times to get a nice solid impression. The stamp set I'm using for most of the cards in this video is Love from Lizi's Hello Sunshine set. There are 9 hellos in 9 different fonts. I love having the variety of different sizes. On the left side of the sentiment, I'm adding a hot air balloon sticker. This was included in a Love from Lizi kit, I think 3 or 4 years ago. It's no longer available, but I thought the colors worked perfectly for this card. Since this is a sticker, I want to add a little more stability, so I did adhere it on some cardstock first. Before adding the balloon on the left side, I'll first put some foam dimension behind the top portion, and I'll add another piece of cardstock behind the basket of the balloon. I'll remove the release paper from the foam, add glue behind the basket, and adhere it on the left side of the card. Using a small scrap piece of brown cardstock, I'll cut a small banner. First cut a fishtail on the bottom, then I'll cut the right side in slightly at an angle, flip it over, do the same thing on the other side. For embellishments, I'm using some leftover gem stickers from another Love from Lizi kit. Put 2 in the upper right-hand corner and 3 around the image in the lower left-hand corner. So there is my finished card, and I did make 2 using this design. For card design number 5, the card sketch is from Cards TV. This is sketch number 22. For the background of my card, I have a light blue with white line tiny grid design. For the 1-inch strip that goes across the card, using the pattern paper that has a bunch of dictionary definitions. Along the edge of that strip, I'm adding some silver peel-offs. This is the widest width. I'm able to use some of the scrap pieces of peel-offs since the center area will be covered up with a sentiment and also other pattern paper strips. I'll wrap the ends around the back, layer this piece on some dark blue cardstock, put ATG tape on the back and add my card front onto a card base, leaving 1/8 of an inch of the white card base showing. For the 2 narrow strips on the right side of the card, using the tone-on-tone blue design, I think it has some tiny little flowers and other shapes on it. I'll layer it on the same dark blue cardstock. Then I'll attach both of those pieces on the right side of the card. I cut out a stitch circle die cut from the same dark blue cardstock, but first I'll start working on the sentiment. I have a smaller stitch circle die cut in my Mini Misty. I'll stamp a sun image inside the circle. The ink color is Lemon Sorbet by Catherine Pooler. It's a very light yellow color. Now I'll add a hello sentiment and stamp it in black right on top of the yellow sun. And I will ink it up a few times to get a nice solid impression. I'm not sure I waited long enough for the yellow ink to fully dry. I'll adhere the 2 circles together using glue. This is one of my favorite things about Love from Lizi's stitch shaped die sets. There are so many sizes on this set, you get the perfect matted layer. Then I'll put foam dimension on the back, using some small black foam squares. I'll remove the release paper and add my sentiment on the 2 narrow blue strips on the right side of the card. For embellishments, I'm using some of the mini twinkle shape peel-offs in the silver color. I'll put 3 in the upper left-hand corner and 2 in the lower right-hand corner. This is one of the newer mini shape peel-offs, and I think it's so fun. I love the little twinkle stars. So there is my finished card, and I did make 2 using this design. For card design number 6, the card sketch is from Cards TV. This is sketch number 2. I selected 4 pattern papers that coordinate nicely together. I'll add all 4 pieces on some dark green cardstock. For most of the cardstock, I'm not sure of the brand or name, but this green cardstock is from Spellbinders. It's their forest color. I'll first add the bottom 2 pieces. The green cardstock piece is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. Once I have all 4 of the pattern paper pieces down, I'll layer this piece on some white shimmer cardstock. Put ATG tape on the back and add my card front onto a card base. I know it just looks like white cardstock in the video, but it does have that lovely shimmer finish. For a sentiment, I'll be stamping the word hello on a stitch square die cut. I'll add the sentiment in the lower right-hand corner, and I am using a mini MISTI to make sure to get a nice solid impression. Using the next size up square, I cut out a green layer, and I'll glue the 2 pieces together. Now I'll put glue on the back and adhere this square in the upper left-hand corner, following the design of the card sketch. After making sure this square is nice and straight, I will place a large acrylic block on top for some added weight while the glue dries. On the left side of the sentiment, I'm adding 2 small foliage pieces, and I did cut these out from pattern paper from the collection. The die set I used is Love from Lizi's Leaves and Vines. It has a nice variety of different foliage pieces. I'll put glue on the back and adhere the 2 pieces on the left side of the sentiment. On the card sketch, there's a sentiment box that goes at the bottom of the card, but since I've already added a sentiment on the image box, I'm adding these lovely iridescent glitter strips at the bottom. The glitter is all embedded so it won't make a mess. I used a craft knife to trim the very right side. These do have a little bit of dimension, but they're still flat enough you could mail a card without paying any additional postage. For a final finishing touch, I'm adding a couple of silver mirror butterfly peel-offs. This is from the butterfly border set. I'll put 3 of them around the sentiment and foliage pieces. So there is my finished card, and this time I made a total of 4. Now here's another look at the 14 cards I made using Love from Lizi's Vintage Escapes 8x8 paper collection. This is a beautiful collection, perfect for travel or masculine cards. I plan on using this set of cards as Father's Day cards going to the residents at a nearby retirement home. I'll stamp Happy Father's Day on the inside and add a handwritten message. If you are interested in any of the products I used in this video, I do have links in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.